Imagine looking at your bank account 6 months from now and feeling proud instead of feeling stressed. Imagine paying off debt, building your savings, and finally feeling in control of your finances. So in this video, I'm sharing the exact 5-step system I used to make that happen, and you can use them too. Trust me, I know what it's like to feel stuck, living paycheck to paycheck and wondering if things will ever change. But here's the truth, it can. This system helped me to pay off over $10,000 in debt, build an emergency fund, and create the financial freedom I always wanted. So stick around and you don't want to miss the last 2 steps. So grab a notebook or your notes app. This is not just another video, it's your guide to a total financial glow up. So let's get started. Before we talk about budgets, savings, or paying off debt, we need to talk about something way more important. Your mindset. Because here's the thing, your beliefs about money shape every single decision you make. If deep down you believe that money is bad or that you're bad with money, those beliefs are going to sabotage you no matter how good your plan is. Think about it. What did you grow up hearing about money? Maybe it was money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy, or my personal favorite, we're not the kind of people who get rich. Does that sound familiar? Because these beliefs are not just words. They're stories we carry with us, and they influence how we handle money without us even realizing it. For years, I believed that no matter how much money I made, it would never be enough. Growing up, I constantly heard phrases like, we can't afford that, or money is a struggle. And without realizing it, those words became the script in my head. So what happened? I started living as if those things were true. I would overspend because deep down, I felt like I would never really get ahead anyway. I avoided looking at my finances because it felt overwhelming. And honestly, it was easier just to not deal with it. Does any of this sound familiar? Here's how we start shifting those beliefs. Write it down. No, I mean it. Grab a notebook and write out every negative belief you have about money. Don't filter yourself. Just get it all out. Next, I will challenge it. For each belief, ask yourself, is this really true? 9 times out of 10, it's not. And then also, I would reframe those beliefs. I would replace those beliefs with something that makes me feel more empowered. So for example, if one of your beliefs is that money is hard to come by, I would reframe that to, I'm learning to create opportunities for abundance. If your belief is that I'm bad with money, I would shift that to, I'm growing into someone who manages money wisely. So take a moment to write down one belief that you want to change and share it in the comments if you feel comfortable. If you need help reframing those beliefs as well, if you share it in the comments, I can help you. All right, so when I reframe my belief from money is selfish to money is a tool for freedom and generosity, everything changed. Suddenly, saving didn't feel like a chore. I felt empowered. Some helpful resource for you would be You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero and Mind Over Money by Brad Klontz and Ted Klontz. Okay, so now that we've started shifting your mindset, let's connect it to something bigger, your why. Improving your finances isn't always easy. There will definitely be days when you feel frustrated, tempted to give up, or just plain tired. And in those moments, you need a reason to keep going. That's why having a clear personal why is so important. So let me ask you, why do you want to improve your finances? Is it to feel more secure? Is it to travel? Or to finally stop living paycheck to paycheck? Whatever it is, your why is your anchor. It's the thing that will pull you forward, especially when the process feels hard. So I want to do a quick little exercise with you. I want you to close your eyes just for a moment. Picture your life 6 months from now. Imagine that you have followed all these steps and your finances are completely transformed. What does it feel like to improve your finances? Maybe you're debt-free for the first time in years. Maybe you've saved enough to take a trip you've always dreamed of, or maybe it's just a piece of knowing that you're finally in control. So once you figure that out, here's your next step. Write down your why. Be specific. For example, you can write down something like, I want to save $10,000 so that I can take a career break and explore my passions. Or I want to pay off my credit card so that I can finally start saving for a home. So a quick little formula for this is to write what you want and then add so that, and usually your why will come after that. Having a so that in there will force you to come up with a reason. I would put it somewhere that you will see every day, on your mirror, your planner, or even as a note on your phone. If you feel comfortable, feel free to share in the comments what your why is, or keep it in your journal. Remember, this is your anchor. It's what will pull you forward when things feel hard. A helpful resource for this would be the book Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Now that you know your why, it's time to get real about where you're starting. Step 3 is about taking inventory. Here's the truth. You cannot fix what you don't acknowledge. If you don't know where your money is going, it's almost impossible to make meaningful progress. This step is about getting real. Not to shame yourself, please don't do that, but to give yourself clarity and direction. When I first did this step, I was terrified to look at my bank statements. But the moment I did, I realized just how much I was spending on takeout. I was spending like over $300 a month. Seeing that number was a wake-up call for me, and it gave me the push I needed to start meal prepping and saving. Okay, so here's how to take inventory step by step. List all your debts, including every credit card, student loan, car loan, and anything else you owe. Write down the total amount, the interest rate, and the minimum payment. Then I want you to note your income. This includes your salary, your side hustle income, or any other money coming in. Then next, I want you to track your expenses. expenses. Look at the last 3 months of your spending and categorize it. I want you to put it into 3 categories. So you have your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, and your discretionary spending. Fixed expenses are things like rent, variable expenses are things like groceries, and discretionary spending is like dining out or shopping. And then I want you to check your savings. Write down the balances of any savings account or emergency funds that you have. So take 20 minutes after this video to gather all these numbers. It's okay if it feels overwhelming. That's part of the process. But trust me, having a clear picture of your finances can give you the clarity you need to start making some changes. Some helpful tools with this will be apps like YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget, or Mint, or Personal Capital will help make tracking a little bit easier. Listen, I get it. This step feels daunting. A lot of people avoid it because they're afraid of what they'll find out. But here's the truth. Ignoring your finances doesn't make the problem go away. Facing them head on is the first step towards freedom. When I finally faced my numbers, I realized I had more control than I thought. Yes, the debt was real, but so were the opportunities to cut back and save. All right, now that you've taken inventory, it's time to set a clear plan. Step 4 is all about creating smart goals that move you forward. SMART goals are the backbone of any financial plan. They stand for specific, measurable, achievable, attainable, and time specific. Okay, so in order to make your goal specific, ask yourself, what exactly do you want to achieve? In order to make them measurable, ask, how will you track your progress? To make your goals achievable, ask yourself, is this realistic for your current situation? To make your goals relevant, make sure you ask yourself if this goal aligns with your values and your why. And lastly, to make it time bound, ask yourself, what is the deadline? This is the most important one because sometimes we have goals that just sits there for years and years and years, and there's no sense of urgency to make them happen. So you do need a deadline. So let's say your goal is to pay off debt. Instead of saying, I want to pay off my debt, that's very general. Make it smart. In order to make I want to pay off my debt a smart goal, you would say something like, I will pay off $5,000 of credit card debt by December 31st by putting $500 toward it every single month. You see the difference? This goal is clear, it's actionable, and it has a deadline to keep you accountable. So take one of your financial priorities and rewrite it as a SMART goal. Share it in the comments. I would love to hear what you're working towards. For example, when I created my SMART goal to save about $10,000 in a year, it felt overwhelming at first because I've never done that before. But breaking it into monthly chunks made it manageable for me, and I could actually track my progress. Another mistake is setting goals that are so ambitious they feel impossible. Start with something realistic, and you can always adjust as you go. All right, so now that you have set your goals, let's talk about how to make them stick. Step 5 is about building systems that support your success. Here's a truth I've learned. Willpower alone is not enough. If you're relying on motivation, you'll eventually burn out. Systems, on the other hand, make consistency effortless. So for example, when I set up my automatic transfers to my savings account, I didn't even have to think about it anymore. It became part of my routine, and that consistency made all the difference. So here are some tools and resources that can help you create effective systems. I would definitely recommend to automate your savings. Schedule automatic transfers to a separate account every payday. I would use budgeting apps to make it easier for me. Apps like Mint or YNAB can help you track your spending and stick to your plan. I would also schedule regular check-ins with myself. I would set a monthly money date with yourself to review your progress. It's so important to surround yourself with resources and people who align with your goals. So I would also join a financial community. One that I joined that helped me a lot in the beginning was called Clever Girl Finance. And you can always join our community here by subscribing. I would also listen to podcasts like The Ramsey Show. I would read books like The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. And finally, let's talk about celebrating your wins because this journey deserves to be acknowledged. Here's the thing, progress deserves to be celebrated. Every step you take forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating because celebrating keeps you motivated and it reminds you that your hard work is actually paying off. So for example, when I paid off my first credit card, I celebrated by taking myself out to a nice dinner. It wasn't about splurging, it was about recognizing how far I had come and using that momentum to keep going. Now I do recommend to use budget-friendly ways to celebrate. So here are some ways that you can reward yourself without undoing all the progress you just made. An example could be treating yourself to your favorite coffee or a meal, maybe have a movie night at home with friends and family, or my favorite, you can take a day off to relax and recharge, and you can also buy something small that's been on your wish list. Just do something meaningful that's not going to undo all the progress we've already made. All right, so let's talk about your homework assignment. So I don't want you to just watch this video. I want you to take action. So here's your homework for the next week. Reframe a limiting belief about money. Write down one negative thought that you have about money. Challenge it and reframe it into something that makes you feel more empowered. For example, if your limiting belief about money is that I'll never save enough, challenge that and reframe it to something like, I'm building my savings one step at a time. Next, I want you to write down your why. Spend some time thinking about why you want to improve your finances. Be specific. How will it change your life? Write it down and put it somewhere that you can see every single day. I would also take inventory of your finances. Block out 30 minutes next week to list all your debts, all your income, your expenses, and your savings. This clarity will give you a solid starting point for your journey. And then once you have clarity, I want you to set one smart financial goal. It doesn't need to be a lot. Please don't overdo this. Just pick one goal, make it a SMART goal. Think about what you want to achieve in the next 6 months and turn it into a SMART goal. For example, you could write a SMART goal like, I want to save $1,000 for an emergency fund by transferring $200 a month into my savings. Okay, do you see how detailed that is? And then also, I want you to implement one system. Choose one system to make your life easier. Maybe automating your savings, downloading a budgeting app, or setting a monthly money check-in with yourself. And then lastly, but most importantly, I want you to plan a milestone celebration. Decide now how you're going to celebrate your first financial win. It could be treating yourself to a special meal, taking a relaxing day off, or buying a small, meaningful gift that you've been eyeing. I would love it if you can drop one piece of your homework in the comments below. I would love to know where you're starting so I can cheer you on every step of the way. But your journey does not end here. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It helps me know that this content is helpful to you. And if you're ready to go even deeper, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I've got more videos coming your way to help you create the financial freedom that you deserve. Finally, share this video with someone who needs it, a friend, a sibling, or maybe even your partner. Let's grow together as a community. 6 months from now, you're going to look back and be so proud of yourself for starting today. The version of you that feels stuck or overwhelmed right now, she's on her way to become unstoppable. So let's make it happen, step by step, one intentional choice at a time. See you in the next video.